Hello and welcome to Books of Blood. My name is John. So I'm going to start this off by saying it actually really feels equal parts strange and equal parts good to actually be doing a book review on my channel, because I know that lately my videos have basically been about horror movies, and then I've been doing the readings from Ghost Ghouls and other horror series, but I haven't been doing very much for as far as actual books are concerned, as far as book reviews, book TBRs and things like that. And the reason is because the last 5 books, including Rebecca right here, the last 5 books that I've picked up to read, I have DNF'd. And, and that really worried me for the longest time. I'm like, why am I DNFing so many books? I mean, and they start off strong, and it's just like, it's not so much the books, it's me. There's something about me that I'm not connecting with these books. And something up here. So finally, after all that, I decided, okay, I've got to get something. I got to find something to read, something I'm going to stick with. So I'm going through my Kindle, and I had a copy of Survivor's Guilt, which should be popping up on the screen right now. And I decided, okay, I looked it over and said, all right, 141 pages. This might be a nice little palate cleanser, something small to help me get back into reading. And I'm very happy to say that I actually finished the book, and that is why I'm going to be reviewing the book. All right. Okay, so Survivor's Guilt is by Aron Beauregard and Matt Shaw. Okay, so now the 2 characters in Survivor's Guilt, Connie and Ray, each one of the authors took an individual, either Connie or Ray. Matt, I believe, any parts, because everything is told in first person, any part that is Ray is written by Matt Shaw. Any part that is Connie is written by Aron Beauregard. Alright, so now, to give an idea of what the book is about, let me give a brief and hopefully accurate subscription of what Survivor's Guilt is. Survivor's Guilt is basically when you are involved in a tragedy, like 9/11 or a school shooting, trigger warning, sorry about that, or school shooting, something like that, and people around you die and you survive, and that is Survivor's Guilt. You feel guilty because you survived and these people did not. Alright, so Survivor's Guilt, the book, kind of turns that completely on its head, okay? Survivor's Guilt, the book, is about 2 very toxic people, although I will say that, and this isn't a spoiler, but you will find out that one of these people is just a little more toxic than the other. In fact, they may be a lot more toxic than the other, and those are Connie and Ray. Alright, so Connie, she gets off on hearing about people's tragedy. She gets off on hearing about and seeing things involving things like school shootings, shootings in workplaces, anything where somebody is hurt. She gets off on that. And when I say she gets off on that, I mean she gets off on that, if you catch my drift, all right? Okay, she attends Survivor's Guilt meetings just to be able to hear people's stories and just to, I don't know, it's kind of like to feed off of their grief, off of their sadness, is a good way to describe her. All right, and now during this, in the Survivor's Guilt meetings, there is our other character, Ray. All right, what Ray does is probably maybe even more heinous than what Connie does. All right. Ray, now for real, at one point, Ray was at a, I believe it was an Ariana Grande concert. And, well, actually, let me describe it this way. I don't want to go too far into the deal. Ray fakes it. Ray will insinuate himself into situations to make it look like he was involved in the situation and that he is a survivor of the situation even when he is not. All right? I mean, that's just pretty, pardon my French, but that's just pretty fucked up. All right, so you have these two toxic people, and separately they're bad enough, but you put them together, and they're even worse. Okay, Connie is kind of the ringleader. Connie is kind of the one that calls the shots. She's the one that knows how to get to Ray, so that he'll do what she wants him to do. All right. So all of this culminates in the fact that she knows that Ray is a fake, and it culminates in that she arranges an event so horrific that it would leave hundreds of people dead, and she wants to use that for both of them to become infamous, or infamously famous, so to speak. All right. I don't want to go into detail about what the event is. Let's just say that she is a teacher, so that might give you a little bit of an idea of what she's got planned, and what she wants to use Ray for. Okay. That's kind of the synopsis for Survivor's Guilt. So now let me talk about whether I like this book. I don't know. I don't think I really did like this book. I just didn't feel like it really actually got off the ground, as far as, because if you look at it, it says an extreme horror. To me, extreme horror is something like Aron Beauregard's Yellow, or something like Matt Shaw's porn. Both of those are these two of the best examples of extreme horror that you're ever going to get. I mean, you read both those books and they will curl your toes. And you can add something like John Nathan's The Groomer to that, and your toes are just going to curl all the way up till they just roll up to your neck, is what they're going to do. All right. I just kept waiting for the extreme part of the horror of this book. It's more psychological horror, and if it probably, I think maybe if it had been presented as that, I might have enjoyed the book more. But when I saw this, I saw, oh, extreme horror. I haven't read extreme horror in a while. I like extreme horror. I don't know what that says about me, but so whenever I get this book and I start reading, I'm like, when's something gonna happen? When's something gonna happen? I mean, yes, there are some horrific moments in this, but they're really no more different than like what you hear about a newscaster talking about on television, somebody being shot. Now there is one particular scene that is replayed twice. Once is at the beginning of the book, and once is toward the end of the book, where, and again, trigger warning, where an animal is harmed or killed. All right, so like I said, trigger warning on that. I know a lot of people don't like that. I don't like it either, but it's there. Okay. So like I said, I think I would have liked this book more if it had been represented more as what it actually is, and it's more of a psychological horror novel than it is an actual book or extreme horror novel. All right, because it's not extreme horror. It's disturbing. The things they talk about in this book are disturbing. I mean, because like I said, it talks about shootings at concerts, office shootings, school shootings. It talks about those things, but that's just disturbing. That's not really so much description. The description of it is not extreme, And don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that I want to hear extreme descriptions of these things. I'm just saying that I just wish that it represented itself more as what it actually is than what it's not. It's not extreme horror. It's psychological horror. And also the thing is, I feel like I've read better from both of these authors. Yeah, so that's pretty much my review for Survivor's Guilt. I wish I could have better news about it. I know there are a lot of fans out there of both authors, but it just didn't click with me. Alright, so there you go. So that's my review of Survivor's Guilt. Take it for what it is, and thank you for watching. Take care and stay scared. Bye.